Have you ever noticed that a lot of real estate agents know they should stay in touch with their sphere, but they avoid it? Not because they don't care, not because they're lazy, but because they don't want to sound pushy or salesy. And honestly, I get it. A lot of agents hear you need 30 to 36 touches a year, and they immediately think, great. So am I supposed to bug people 36 times a year? No, that's not the goal. The goal is not to chase transactions. The goal is to build relationships, stay relevant, and create trust. So when someone needs a real estate agent or knows someone who does, you're the natural choice. In this video, I want to show you how to stay in touch with your sphere without being salesy. We're going to talk about how to deepen relationships, what to say when you call, how to use Ford or Frog, how to follow up with people you just met, how to use social media to start conversations, and how to become a real source of value. All right, mindset first. Here's the first shift. If you think your job is to follow up until they buy or sell, you'll sound salesy. But if you think your job is to be helpful, interested, informed, and memorable, you'll sound human. That's the difference. The best agents don't stay in touch by constantly asking, so are you thinking of moving? They stay in touch by being useful and thoughtful, present in people's lives. Maybe you're the person who sends a property review. Maybe you're the person who knows a great painter, plumber, roofer, or organizer. Maybe you're the person who shares the local restaurant guide, the school guide, the market report, the tax update, the neighborhood festival list, or the historic district information. You're not just trying to market, you're trying to matter. Your database is not one big group. It's made up of different levels of relationships. Some people just met you. Some people you know casually. Some people trust you. Some already refer you, and some are your true advocates. They're out there saying, you got to use my friend. So your job is to help people move up the ladder. All right. The D's, the just mets. This might be someone you just met at an open house, a networking event, a school event, online, or through social media. You don't know them very well yet. At this stage, the goal is not to get a transaction. The goal is to build familiarity and trust. This is where the 8x8 plan works beautifully. That simply means 8 touches in 8 weeks, not to pressure them, to deepen the relationship. For example, week 1, send a handwritten note. Great meeting you. I enjoyed our conversation and would love to stay in touch. Week 2, send a text. Hi, it was so nice meeting you. I remember you mentioned your son was applying to colleges. I hope that goes well. Week 3, send something useful. Maybe a market report, maybe a local restaurant guide, maybe the best coffee shops in the area, maybe a school guide, maybe a neighborhood guide. Week 4, engage them on social media. Comment on something they posted, not just looks great. Say something real, like that restaurant looks amazing. Would you go back? Now you're really starting a conversation. Week 5, make a quick phone call. Week 6, send an article or resource connected to something they care about. Week 7, invite them for coffee. And week 8, follow up and make it easy. Would next week work better or the week after? That's how you take someone from I just met to we actually know each other. And that's how you move someone from the D's to the C's. So now let's talk about the C's, the casual connection. These people know you, they like you, but the relationship is still light. At this stage, you want consistency. Add them to your regular nurture. Stay in flow. Interact on social. Send useful information. Invite them to a community event or a client event. B level. Strong relationship. These are people who trust you. Past clients, friends, neighbors, good connections. Now the value gets more personal. This might be a property review, an annual equity update, a vendor referral, a quick check-in around something going on in their life, or information tied to their stage of life. All right, let's talk A's and A pluses. These are your advocates, your raving fans, the people who refer you. These people should feel appreciated. Call them more often. Invite them to something special. Drop by with something thoughtful. Thank them well. The more A's and A pluses you build, the stronger your business becomes. All right, so what do you say on the call? This is where many agents get stuck. They think they need a perfect script, but what they really need is a framework, and that's where Ford or Frog comes in. Ford stands for Family, Occupation, Recreation, Dreams. Frog stands for family, recreation, occupation, and goals. And you can use either one. The point is simple. Don't lead with real estate. Lead with them. Ask about family, F. Ask about work, occupation. Ask about what they're doing for fun, recreation. Ask about what they're hoping for next, dreams. If you ask questions like, if you could wave a magic wand, where would you live? If you could change anything about your home, what would you change? Have you ever thought about where you might retire someday? If money, timing, and logistics were not an issue, where would your ideal home look like? If money, timing, and logistics weren't an issue, what would your ideal home look like? Those are great questions. They're not pushy, they're personal, and they often reveal what's really going on. Maybe they've outgrown the house. Maybe they're tired of stairs. Maybe they want to be closer to kids or grandkids. Maybe they want a condo with less maintenance. Maybe they want outdoor space. Maybe they're secretly thinking about a move but haven't told anyone yet. Now, here's another reason this framework works so well. When you ask about their occupation or their goals, many people will naturally ask you, how's business? Or how's the market? And now the real estate conversation happens naturally. You didn't force it, they opened the door. So now have a bank of value before you call. This is important. A lot of agents sound salesy because they have a call with nothing to offer. So before you call your sphere, have a bank of ideas. Know the ways you can add value. For example, a property review, a neighborhood market report, a service provider list, a live-in here guide, a restaurant guide, a coffee shop guide, a school guide, a property tax update, a tax appeal reminder. How about a list of local festivals or events? Home maintenance tip, downsizing guide, first-time buyer guide, list of trusted vendors, updates about local ordinance, neighborhood changes, or so forth and so on. When you call, you're not calling empty-handed. You can say, I've been putting together updated neighborhood information and thought of you. Or, I've been sharing annual property reviews with past clients. Happy to do one for you too. Or, I just updated my vendor list and realized how often people need a great electrician or painter. Or, I put together a quick guide to great coffee shops and restaurants in the area and thought you might enjoy it. That feels helpful. It doesn't feel salesy. All right, social media is a relationship tool. Lots of agents use social media to broadcast. They post, they post, they post, and they hope somebody calls. But social media is also one of the easiest ways to build relationships. Commenting is a touch. Replying to a story is a touch. Asking a question is a touch, and it can lead to real conversation. Instead of saying, looks great, say something like, that patio looks fantastic. Was that in your neighborhood? Or your kitchen remodel looks gorgeous. What made you choose that design? Or that hiking view is incredible. Where was that? Now you're not just reacting, you're engaging, and social media also gives you clues. A new baby, a new job, a retirement, a wedding, a renovation, a move. The D's, right? Parents are aging, kids are going to college. Those are life events, and life events often lead to housing changes. All right, let's talk client events and pop-bys. Not everybody wants a long phone call, and that's okay. You can build relationships through experiences and thoughtful gestures. Client events are a great example. These don't have to be fancy. You could do a coffee event, ice cream social, pumpkin giveaway, pie pickup, shred event, dog-friendly event, home maintenance workshop, first-time buyer Q&A, or downsizing seminars. Pop-bys still work, especially when they're thoughtful. Flowers in the spring, a pie in the fall, hot chocolate in winter, small coffee gift cards, seasonal checklist, local guide, simple note. The point is not the gift. The point is the message, I thought of you, and that's what matters. All right, let's talk how to deepen a relationship. Let's say you meet someone new. What do you do next? A lot of agents either disappear or follow up too hard. Instead, think about deepening the connection. Meet them, notice something personal, remember it, follow up with a note or text, and send something relevant. Engage on social, offer value, invite them for coffee. For example, if someone says they just moved to town, you might say later, it was so nice meeting you. Since you mentioned you're still getting to know the area, I'm sending over a quick list of my favorite coffee shops, restaurants, and local events. That's helpful. If they mention children, you might send a school guide or a family activity list. If they love older homes, you might send something about architecture or historic neighborhoods. Then later say, I'd love to hear more about what brought you here. Want to grab coffee sometime next week? That's how you build a network. All right, let's talk about your annual relationship plan. Yes, you do want regular touches, but they should be a mix of automated and personal. That might look like this: monthly email, monthly mailer or value piece, a few personal calls during the year, birthday touch, home anniversary touch, client event invitations, seasonal pop-bys, and social media engagement. The power is not in one touch, it's in the layering. People remember the agent who shows up consistently with relevance, warmth, and value. All right, final thought. If you want to stay in touch with your sphere without being salesy, stop thinking like a salesperson and start thinking like a relationship builder. Be curious, be observant, be thoughtful, useful, and consistent. Ask better questions. Listen for dreams and goals. Offer value before they ask. Use social media to connect, not just broadcast, and create systems that help deepen relationships over time. Because the agents who win in the long run are not the ones who pressure people, they're the ones who become unforgettable. And when you do this well, you don't have to chase business nearly as much. Business comes from the trust that you build long before someone needs to move.